We are back, baby!
That's right, a miracle has happened. Jazzwares has released a brand new Fortnite action figure. No. I'm not talking about the 1/18 scale 4-inch size action figure. This is a big one. This is a 1/12 6.5-inch-ish scaled figure. This was put up for pre-order earlier in the year. This is The Weeknd. And if you're not familiar with The Weeknd, well, I will tell you more about him along the way, but at this point, I think everybody is familiar with The Weeknd. So to begin with, so you're not just staring at this lovely EXO Fortnite red glowy type paint the entire time. There's the front of the box. This is a special edition slip cover. I'll flip it around. You can see an EXO is on the back, and that's it. So in order to actually see anything awesome, we gotta pull this thing off. So, well, let's do that. Let's slide this thing off, and the big reveal right there is The Weeknd, and my lights are glaring right at. I mean, it's kind of appropriate, wouldn't you say? I mean, think about the Super Bowl, maybe. He was the halftime entertainment, and there was this funny meme out there with him going in circles and doing lots of weird things with these lights. So, like, you know, the lights are perfect. Let's go ahead and flip these off for right now so we can just see, you know, as best as we can, this figure. So he kind of looks like he's encased in plastic. Well, I mean, he is encased in plastic. I'll flip this around, and on the back, you get a full version of him. We'll flip the light back on. It didn't really work, but you get to see the full version of the skin. It says Fortnite in red, if I can aim my arm just right. And then we'll go ahead and flip it back around. What's cool about this case is that it's reminiscent of an SDCC exclusive from, I think it was 2023, must have been last year, in that there's a control box here on the side, and if you flip it, watch the EXO in the back very carefully. But you see, it lit up. And I'm going to flip my lights off and see how well, you can kind of see it already. And it's pretty cool. I wish I could actually show this to you better. Let's see if I can change this a little bit here. So you can kind of see how it's looking. It's really actually pretty cool. This would be a pretty awesome display piece if you wanted to just put it on your shelf and then light it at some point here or there. So that would be actually really pretty cool. And now I think my lighting looks just a little bit off, but let's go ahead and turn this off, save the battery. It does take 3 AAA batteries, and they can be inserted in here, so when you remove the old ones, you can put the new ones in, and you can make this package glow forever on your shelf. But enough about the packaging, let's get him out. Now we got the figure out of the box, and now he's ready to pose or equip, gear up, whatever. But first I want to show you what the in-game character looks like over here on the right side, and you can kind of do a little bit of a comparison to decide, do you think this looks like a faithful translation? Do you think it looks good? What do you think? And then next we're going to get in and look at the few accessories he comes with. Beginning with his pickaxe, the Axe-O. It even says right here, The Weeknd on the side. You have the Exo up here on the handle. You got some Jazzwares stuff, if you can even see that right there. Kind of, they're trying to hide it. You flip it around, it's got the same stuff, Exo and The Weeknd. It is a little bit bendy. It's not horrible, though. Then we have the EXO back bling, and this is kind of neat. It's all silver, and it's designed in such a way to make it look like it's 3D, like it's jetting out at you. The way it's, if you see like right through there and right through there, you will flip it around. You can see there is the peg that will go into his back, so he can wear his EXO black back bling. He comes with an extra set of hands where his thumb is sticking out and the fingers are straight out. A left hand that looks like it's in a pinchy motion, and I'm guessing these are kind of designed to maybe hold the sunglasses that he's wearing right there. And the final extra hand is a right-handed fist. Now we'll get in and take a little bit closer look at this figure by bringing him, well, closer to you. So here we have The Weeknd in his lovely red suit, black pants, I should say red jacket, black pants, black tie, and a black shirt underneath. Now, the material for this jacket is so interesting. This is a pretty typical soft rubber material that we are used to if you have purchased the Legendary series from Jazzwares in the past. It's very soft. So here's a quick word of warning. if you happen to get this figure and do not display him, but maybe store him in, say, like a box or a container or a bag with his accessories, I highly recommend that you store the accessories separate from the figure, because I have a feeling that if any of these accessories are up against this coat for very long, that it will react, and the black color on this, probably not this. I'm guessing this is all molded in silver, so that should be fine. If this is all molded in black, it might be fine. But anything that might be painted, maybe the hands, I don't know, might bleed over and start changing this coat color. And I would say that for any accessory. So like, say you've got an accessory like this, and it's up against it for very long. You just want to be very careful. This is a very soft rubber coat, and I tend to think that you might have some paint wear problems from other accessories. So why don't we gear him up while we're looking at it. The back bling fits right in there. Isn't that cool and shiny? And he just popped off his right hand, which is probably a good time to point out that these hands have a ball joint on the end. They're not a typical long post, it's just a little bit of a ball joint. There is a hinge, and so you can move the hand up and down like that, and there's a rotation. It's an interesting new design thing from Jazzwares that I haven't seen, at least in the Fortnite figure, but it kind of makes the hands just a little bit looser. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's something I've noticed, that you can kind of move them around a little bit more. Now, unlike previous Fortnite figures from Jazzwares, these do not have, or this guy does not have, a hinge at the fingers, which is like about time. Like, we needed no hinge on fingers for the entire duration of the Legendary series. I get maybe Wave 1, but everything after that, we really needed no hinges so they could hold their equipment. So it looks like he's got a pointing finger, Captain Obvious here, right, on his right hand. So the only hand that's going to hold his pickaxe is going to be his left hand here. So according to where the handholds are, that's what you got. So now he can go and, while he's singing, he can chop down some building material, and so he can do some more building. So, it's kind of interesting. And then that pops off again. Let's get into articulation. I think it's important to share what the articulation for this figure is, because I found it to be really interesting. So the arms, okay, so this is a really interestingly designed figure. There are a little bit of things I'm curious about. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a very nice figure. If all you're going to do is display the figure, then he's going to display so awesome. He is going to look so good. But part of my mentality is play with the figures. You get him and you do stuff with him. He is not, I would say, an actual play figure. He is a display figure. And I can tell the way it's been designed that that's what it was for. So the coat is that soft rubber. When you peel back the coat, check this out in here. There is another soft rubber piece, I probably shouldn't use that, tucked in here to hide the black butterfly joint of the shirt. And that soft, I don't know, can I pull this jacket off without causing problems? That soft rubber piece actually extends down over the shoulder, so it completely blocks out any visibility of the arm hinge and rotation and butterfly joint. So that's really cool. There's no peeking in here at the arms and seeing all the black, disgusting under action figure, construction. And that's really cool. That's why I say this is a display figure, not really a play figure. So I do like that. For what this hasn't been intended for, I do like that. Does it limit the articulation? I think it does just a little bit, because the rubber here on the shoulder does kind of catch a little bit on the rubber of the coat. So if you want to rotate the arm, actually, it doesn't just catch. Just looking at how it's designed, you're not going to be able to rotate the arm all the way up. This is about as far as I comfortably feel like moving the arms up. He's a singer. He's not supposed to be doing like crazy stuff. And rotating them back, that's about as... Stand up, dude. That's about as far up as I can go. The butterfly joints work. It makes them feel very gummy. It does make them feel kind of weird to be rotating or to move them back and forth in this rubber contraption. There is a bicep rotation there. If you want to lift his arms, I can get them up only about that high. So he can really only raise his arms about that high, and you can kind of see how it's kind of gathering or pinching up here just a little bit. But the joints feel good. If you want to push them down, you can only get them down that far, so his arms are going to be sticking out. He's got double pin elbows, so he can really bring up his arm, and as I pointed out and you saw earlier, it's a ball joint, and you can easily pop these out and swap out to, I'm finding a certain one here, swap out to the next hand right there. Money, give me money. So there is a hinge as well at the base of that ball joint. He has, be careful, a tie here that's attached to the upper torso. So he has 2 bits of articulation. Let's tuck this coat back. He has a waist cut right there and a torso cut right there, so he can lean forward and he can lean back. He can rotate a little bit, but it's mostly going to rotate at the waist. The waist only goes back and forth. I don't think it's on a proper ball joint. You can't like rotate him all the way around, just mostly back and forth. And the torso is what you would use for the upper, more odd rotations. He has a double pin knee, and I'm kind of surprised they didn't go pinless on this one, but they didn't. There is a thigh rotation up there, or as I've dubbed it now, the Fortnite twist. Or is that the new, I don't know. He does have a rotation and a hinge and a pivot. I think there's actually a rotation, but there's at least a pivot and a hinge at the ankle, but he can only lean back about that far right there. So if you want him to lean forward, he's got some nice looking shoes on there. He can lean forward about that far. Again, he's a musician. He's a display figure. You're not going to do a lot of playing, so really and truly, the articulation is pretty good. Now, one thing I can't quite figure out, and this might be a me problem, if you want him to do the splits, he does them beautifully. Check that out. He does them so well. Now, a problem, and I don't know if it's this soft, he has like a soft rubber diaper through here. This whole centerpiece right there is soft. It's just like the coat. I cannot get the legs in a sitting position, and I don't want to force it because I don't want to break it. This is an expensive figure. This is not a cheap figure. And I was trying to look up in here, and I can't tell if it's actually supposed to rotate, but I cannot get this figure to move the legs forward or back at all. It just won't go. So if anybody out there knows if these are supposed to rotate, I'll have to look around online to see what I can see. But like, if you want him to sit, well, he can kind of do like the limbo, you know, hello, can you go? But like, how much can you sit up? It's more like that. So I might play around with it later. This might just be a me figure, and I might have to actually heat this joint up because I can't tell. It looks like there should be a rotation available, but it's just not working for me. And I'll be honest, I've had Jazzwares Fortnite figures snap on me in the past for doing less than what I'm doing here. And I'm just like, this is me cranking on it. But I can't get anything to do anything. So we're going to leave that up in the air. Now check out his awesome looking sunglasses. They do come off. You can slide those right off. There are a couple tiny holes that are very, very hard to see right up there and right up there. They blend right into his hair, right above his ears, which are really cool. And so, what did I say earlier? He's got this hand, so you could tuck the glasses kind of like this, so to speak, and he could be holding his glasses and doing something like that. You know, it's like, hey, you talking to me? You're talking to me? Are you talking to me? Just ignore me. So anyway, but that's kind of cool. He could hold his glasses that way. I kind of like him with his glasses on. They're not difficult. You just want to make sure you're real careful. You can slide them in. I have to say, I think Jazzwares has done a better job of hiding the glass insertion points The glasses, the sunglasses insertion points, if I can see to get them in there, better than Hasbro has with the Classified series. It's a huge compliment. There we go. And I think these glasses look actually really pretty good. So there is some detailing on this figure that's kind of neat. You can see he has a pocket square or sorts up here. It's colored black. There's a little piece that's colored black. There's a button here that's colored black. You got 4 buttons on the sleeves that are colored black. I mean, some nice little paint details. Check out his shoes. Nice white bits on him. There's some nice detail to this figure. When you feel the tie, it feels, it's textured. It has a textured look, and I don't know how much closer I can get, but it is definitely a textured tie, and it feels like it. So it's kind of cool. There's a lot of small little detail. The hair looks pretty good. It's kind of shiny here. So anyway, let's move on to the next section, which could be considered a Fortnite party, because come on, you didn't really think I'd get through this entire video without pulling out some of Jazzware's Legendary Series figures, did ya? I mean, let's just look at the height comparison. You can see he's easily fitting in with their previous figures, and he looks really good. I mean, besides the fact he stands out a little bit from all their zany craziness, I think he blends in actually really pretty well. And as you can see, I brought a pile of accessories, and I thought, you know, what's more Fortnite than, you know, dressing up the most regular of characters in some weird zany things. I mean, we've got some crazy stuff. So we're going to set some of these guys off to the side here, because let's just see how well the legendary stuff fits on the weekend. And let's just begin with Valkyrie wings. If they were good, oh, look at that. It fits on so well. And that's the beginning of the zany party. And I just had to see, will Dark Rabbit Raiders mask or helmet, actually, let's take off his glasses. Will it fit over his head? Oh, there we go. We're getting close. We're getting close. That's pretty good, I think. That's pretty close. And let's see, does he hold a Fortnite? Okay, so here's the thing here. He's got a finger sticking out, but it's not really bendable or pliable, so you can't use that finger as a trigger. So unfortunately, if you want him to hold... They should have thought about this. They should have included a trigger finger or a trigger hand. We're going to have to give him this original hand back, and he can't... Actually, wait a second. I think it can be. He's going to be left-handed. I'm not sure if the guy is left-handed in real life or not, but... There we go. We got him holding a Legendary Series gun right there. It's a little loose feeling, but look at that. It's working. Come on, I wanted to do something more crazy and zany than this. Let's grab this popcorn bucket. I'm just kind of looking around here. Let's tuck it in the fingers. Hands are a little tight. Where'd it go? Actually, the popcorn bucket needs to go on the other side, so let's grab the mushroom. Okay, I'm going to have to do this a little bit off. A little bit blurry here for a second, so... Because I believe the hole fits into the thumb, and then the fingers are supposed to, like... Because this hinges around. I don't think he can hold the mushroom very well. Drat, that's disappointing. So, let's give him... Dark Rabbit Raiders pickaxe here. Just because. I'm sure that if the weekend has seen his action figure, which I'm sure he has, I'm sure he has approved of it and everything, I bet he never thought it would look like this. Tell me that this is not one of the most Fortnite things to do with an action figure. And I like that this stuff fits on here too. Let's pull that off. Let's pull out Tomato Head Special Delivery. Because, hey, red and red, right? Ooh, the special delivery kind of fits on there. I think it's a little bit loose, yeah. It's a little loose. The peg is not very deep, and it's a little bit deep to get that lined up and in there. So you'd have to have him kind of bent over as like an old man to get that to fit. But you want him to stand up straight. We could probably put his glasses on now, like over the helmet there. Not really, kind of, sort of. That really messes this guy up. Let's take off this stuff here. Jonesy, let's take a look at here at his gun, because I like this one. I like this one, so we're going to give him this one. So now he's like a cool pizza delivery guy. I don't know. This is like, I gotta get rid of that. I want to put the wings back on him. Let's go with this. So yeah, there we go. This is The Weeknd from Jazzwares. It's a new figure. Does this mean Jazzwares is going to be making more Fortnite figures? Absolutely it does not. I don't know what it really does mean. It might be just a one-off collab. I'm not sure. And actually, real quick, before we wrap up, I'm going to bring in some other action figures of characters that are in Fortnite that you might have, just for lining them up. So here's the Mandalorian, if we can get him to stand. You can kind of get an idea of how tall some other figures are next to him. We have Indiana Jones right there. Get John Cena in. I mean, this is like a group of characters you probably typically wouldn't expect to be seen. So we've got a John Cena figure, something like that. We can bring in Mr. Master Chief himself. Yeah, let's just put him back here, because he's already tall. We already know he's taller. And what's interesting is this is a Jazzwares figure. This is a 6.5 inch scale, but this guy's like 7 to 7.5 or something. So, and we'll have Symbiote Spider-Man. If I can get him standing, something like that, and we'll put him back there. So there's a variety of other characters that are in Fortnite and their action figure versions. So anyway, thank you for stopping by and watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helped you a little bit learn about this figure. Unfortunately, you cannot order this figure anymore. It was a pre-order back in the spring of 2024. If you want this figure, you're going to have to find it on eBay. I don't know if they'll ever open it up again for sale. It was only for sale on the Weeknd's store website, which I believe is called XO Store. So it'd be actually kind of cool if they opened it up now that these are shipping, maybe to sell some more, but I don't really know. So right now, your only option is on eBay. And it seems like they're selling for quite a bit of money, like quite a bit more than what they originally were. Anyway, thank you for stopping by. I will see you in the next one.